hello, everybody. Yeah, we know it's been quite a while now, but we are back again here with you guys, and it feels so awesome. I see Andrews there, Marta there. Hello, everybody. All the Voice It Show faithfuls are joining in, and we feel so awesome, and we are back here again in this little joyful place of ours we call the Voice It Show. Welcome, everyone. And if you are new and listening to the Voice It Show or watching for the first time, we welcome you to Voice It Show family. And you may want to hit that subscribe button. Hopefully, if I am pointing in the right direction down there, and hit it helps us more than you know, guys. So do subscribe. And you know what? Recently, the month of April 2022 marked the second anniversary of the Voice It Show, and wow, what an incredible 2 years have these been, with a lot of legendary guests and wonderful conversations, and more to come.
Yeah, that's right. And we will continue to keep on keeping on if your love, support, and blessings are with us like they have always been. So we are truly grateful to each and every one of you. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And I think we should have a special shout out to our patrons.
Absolutely, here we go.
Yes, special thanks goes to Adam Gorak, Chris Vickery, Laurie D. Sandoval, and Anders Lindholm, and of course, Shelley O'Neill. And now, without any further ado, let's move on to the man of the hour, our special guest. He's the lead
Yeah.
guitarist of the extreme metal band Consciously Dying, a guitar teacher, and a kick ass artist. He's been slaying the musical universe with his talent for many years now. His band, Consciously Dying, dropped a new album this May called Bereavement, A Grief to Loss and Grief, which is also the debut album of the band. We're going to talk more about the album in the course of this interview. Our guest's love for the instrument and the passion for music is what makes him so spectacular in every way as he is. We feel proud to welcome on the Voice It Show the very amazing DENIS Sheriff. Welcome.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Awesome. That was so cool, man. That's such a cool intro. Thank you for a
That,
warm welcome. What a
You
great way to
that,
deserve
start the morning. Awesome.
thank you so
Pioneer
much
here.
for.
It's a little different, okay, but thanks.
Thank you so much. Three people from three different continents, I guess, in the world. So tuning in together, it's awesome, man. It feels nice. So tell us, how are you doing, first of all?
Man, I'm feeling great. It's a mental mindset, okay? Being an
Uh huh.
artist, the times that we lived through the last 2.5 years, how am I feeling? It's a mindset. I can choose to feel
Yeah.
good. I can choose to feel great. I can also choose to feel very, very shitty. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel great, man. Every day is a great day, no matter what, you know, no matter the weather or anything like that. So that's the mindset. I feel great. I feel I'm excited to be on this show. Very cool, exciting things happening. So yeah, that's what's going on, man.
We're glad
Awesome.
to hear
Awesome. Yeah, and we feel awesome too to have you on. So thank you.
Yes.
And first of all, congratulations on your new album. It's been fantastic.
Thanks. You know,
So, yeah, sure. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go
that
ahead.
was that one. Yeah, it's we had the during this pandemic. It was an interesting time for everyone, right? So
Right.
we've had music for a while, but what do you do with your
Hmm.
music when you can't go on tour? You can't support your
that. Yeah.
stuff, right?
True.
What do you do?
True.
Do you just release it? Because anybody can release songs, right? It's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
how do you when do you what time do you choose? When is the right moment to do things? So I guess it's finally time. So yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. And you know what? I want to take you back a little and tell us about your childhood. How was your childhood like? Where did you grow up? And did you have a musical family?
Oh yeah, I was born in Yugoslavia, right, in 1987.
Hmm.
So obviously grew up there. My dad was a is a musician. He was super into rock and roll, Deep Purple, and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And well, I mean, I was about 5 or 6 years old, and then the war started, the Bosnian war started, and that made us
Gosh.
relocate. I mean, half of my family members stayed behind. You know, they're still in Bosnia, and my parents, they left, they fled. Okay, so that's the
Hmm.
right. And then I grew up for the most part in Switzerland, and going back and forth. And then after the war ended, it's like, okay, so now you have to make a decision. Do you go back and start rebuilding, or do you just
Yeah.
stay in Switzerland and support your family from afar? You know, that was kind of the deal.
Right.
So I grew up
Right.
there, very supportive dad in the music field, very,
Hmm.
um, he was in a ton of bands, and it was always like, hey, come on, do something with your life. And this is something, right? Like, come on, start playing.
Right. Right.
When I was 7, he kind of started doing that. And then I didn't want to do anything like that, man.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be a
Oh
kid.
my God.
I just
Yeah.
wanted
That's kind of surprising though.
Well, I just wanted to be a kid, and I just wanted to have fun like everybody else. Like,
Right.
go outside, play ball, and play some video games
Yeah.
or something. That's all that I really cared for at the time. Especially because my dad was so pushy. Like, come on,
Hmm.
go.
Hmm.
Why can't you do it? Like, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, man, I'm trying to figure it out. So,
Yeah. Chop
but then,
chop.
yep, until later, I think I was about 11 or 12. I saw Pink Floyd, Roger Waters, The Wall, right? On
Ah.
VHS.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember or know VHS, right? Put that thing in.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yep,
don't know that.
hit
Yeah.
play, and man, I was messed. I didn't know what was going on that screen. Huge stage, the wall's coming up, it's going down, during the whole thing.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
musicians, beautiful songwriting, and I just thought, man, that's it.
You went. You went comfortably numb.
I like the analogy. I guess I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And from then on, you kicked off.
Yeah, man. I mean, from then, it kind of starts with you got to start somewhere. You usually start with something like that, and then
Hmm.
you get Deep Purple, and all those guys, and then it gets. The funny thing is, it gets heavier.
Yeah.
It goes
Right.
from that to Iron Maiden, to Metallica.
Yeah.
Okay, so Metallica, and then it gets to, I don't know, maybe Cradle of Filth. Well,
Which I love.
now I'm at a point where I'm pissing my parents off. Okay, like, this is cool. Pink Floyd, it's nice. It's got some acoustic songs. That's
True.
beautiful. Metallica, okay. Well, it still has Nothing Else Matters and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to Slayer, it's like, they're
Oh.
so angry all the time. And Pantera, it's like, no, this is weird. And then
Yeah.
then I jumped to like the extreme metal bands because it was curious, right? And the
True.
Scandinavian metal and stuff like that. Yeah, I get to Cradle
Hmm.
of Filth and Dimmu Borgir, and that's the moment when I started to piss my parents off. Like, dude, this has nothing to do with talent. You're
Yeah.
just trying to
Yeah.
push the buttons. So, and I'm in a band like that right now. So it's a
Hmm.
Awesome. Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
For
That's
my
quite a journey. And as a matter of fact, I like Hallowed Be Thy Name more done by Cradle of Filth than Iron Maiden. So
yeah, man.
it's
That's it.
really awesome.
It's a cool cover. You know what? I saw those guys in LA in
Hmm.
last year. I think it was Halloween ish, like
Okay.
October, mid October. They were here,
Hmm.
played the Cruelty and the Beast album, which is one of my favorites, and they did play
Cool.
it. Hallowed Be Thy Name. It
Wow.
sounds amazing.
Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I gotta say that I don't know any Bosnian parents that like, the harder stuff when it comes to music,
No,
especially my parents. So,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's it's a difficult because it's such a cultural aspect in our society out there. man,
Yeah.
there's a lot of, having long hair as a man is still like, hey man, what are you
Yeah.
doing? It was very
Yeah.
difficult for me, as much
Hmm.
as I love my culture and I really do, with everything that comes with, it's really difficult sometimes to like, even having tattoos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're still
Hmm.
catching up on that kind of thing. So yeah, man,
Hmm.
it's like for
Yeah.
True. I
parents
get it. I get it.
looking in, for them it's like you're wasting your life doing what you're doing, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a
True.
challenging little growing.
Balance kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Definitely. Um, I want to take you back again. So tell me what made you choose the guitar?
It was all about having a voice, right? When you're a kid, even you talk to your parents sometimes, right?
Yeah.
They don't know how you're feeling. You can't always say how you're feeling.
Yeah.
So I guess having the guitar in my hand, it's like I have a voice. I can express myself the way I want to. And guess what?
True.
It can't be wrong, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever I play
Yeah.
on the guitar, that's how I played it. Now you can say you could play it in a different way or this, yeah, but I played it this way, and that's my way of
Yeah.
voicing an emotion. Because music to me is
Yeah.
what feelings sound like, right? So we all
Right.
have emotions, or else music wouldn't make any sense in that kind of way. So
True.
you pick up the guitar and you play whatever you want to play. Isn't that the beauty of it?
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is.
You pick up whatever and you give that kid a guitar. Hey man, whatever I tell that to my students a lot. Whatever you play,
Yeah.
it's just fun. Like, don't sweat
Mm-hmm.
over anything. You're having fun, you know.
True.
And unlike
True.
video games, when unlike that, you play and something comes out. This is what you did entirely.
Yeah.
So that's always it always fascinated me. It's like, okay,
It's
now I
it's kind of it's kind of your own creation as well. So
yeah, and it's kind of cool. And I thought, dude, this is amazing. I get to play in front of my class and annoy everyone with my sound that everybody has to listen to me.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nobody can interrupt me, and if they do, I can turn it up.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of
Blow him off. Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, I mean that was it. That was like the coolest thing about playing the guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. And somehow I think you can express what you're feeling more onto a guitar than you can put it in words, I guess. You know,
Well,
you can find that exact note rather than finding that exact word which
right.
would define your feeling. So
Well,
I think
sometimes
that's one of the coolest things.
yeah, sometimes you're just when you have to express yourself with words, sometimes
Yeah.
you freeze up, especially when you're a kid.
True.
You're a 15, 16-year-old kid, you're in front of your class, you just go, you don't even know what you want to say anymore because
Yeah.
now everybody's
My
looking at
name's a potato, whatever.
you. Yeah. Some people can deal with that. I was like, okay, I was still talking and stuff like that, but I felt that the the guitar gives you more of an instrument to
Mm,
more of a voice. You can express yourself
right.
a little more.
It's just an extension of yourself, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Everything you put in, that's what comes out.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Right. And do you remember the song or musical piece that made you go, hey, how did he or she do this? I want to do this too.
Um, there's a couple of them, maybe a little more than that. I mean,
Hmm.
definitely anything by Deep Purple. Hearing Richie Blackmore play was always a humble. Even today, I listen to that
Yeah.
guy. I don't understand what the hell's going on. It's like it's so amazing. That always
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
fascinated me. But it was also, let me tell. Speaking about Steve Vai, the man, the dude. Um, watching that
Yeah.
Crossroads movie. I don't know. Do you guys familiar with that one?
Of course.
Yeah. watching that was like, what? That came
Yeah.
out in 86. What, that came out a year before I was born. So I'm like, this
My
guy's
God.
already shredding and doing all this shit. Like, what? How's this even a thing?
Mm-hmm.
So all
Yeah.
that, it's a trend. It transcends from picking up stuff from obviously bands that were really big like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and all that kind of stuff, and then
Right.
and then it transcends into the heavier stuff, and then the more virtuoso stuff like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
True.
Yeah.
True. And speaking of whom, here we
Oh
go.
yeah. Yeah. I know
I
both
mean,
of
this
those
is,
guys.
yeah, this is one of my craziest dreams, dude. And you lived it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a magical moment for me to even get there. I had the privilege to be with Steve Vai in the same room. He played all my guitars and all that kind of stuff, and
You did? Wow.
we were hanging out for like a couple days and had dinner together and stuff like that. Great guy,
God.
genuinely nice person, like
Yeah.
absolutely inspiring, even without the guitar in his hands. I'm like, can this
Hmm.
guy get better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy get better in life? Like, this guy is a complete winner. And when
Yeah.
he plays the guitar, now he doesn't have the guitar, and he's still amazing.
Yeah.
Like, an amazing person and just a wonderful guy overall. So yeah, man. But being with him on stage
True.
was definitely like one of those moments where you're like, wow, it's like he has this energy, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like,
Yeah.
this is like all his experience and all that shit that he did in his 5 decades of
Man.
playing music. It's like you feel that on stage, like, whoa, this guy's a monster, man. This guy's
Yeah.
he's done some stuff, and I definitely felt
Yeah.
a magical moment. Honestly, no clue what was going on in my head while I was on that stage playing.
Playing. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was just playing. And then later, stepping off stage and giving each other a hug, I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Surreal, right?
Yeah, definitely. I was a kid on the couch watching this guy play, and now I'm on the same stage.
Setting
What?
you on stage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah. My
insane.
gosh.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in life. Cool. And
Yep.
what qualities of Steve do you admire the most?
Man, besides his songwriting and guitar playing, obviously, I think his approach in life is such a
Mm,
wonderful way of. We all have insecurities. We all have problems, right? We all have issues
true.
and stuff that we wake up every day, and we have to challenge. We have to fight that. We have to approach it, at least. And his approach is
Right.
such a nice way of dealing with life, man. He's got some of those out there on YouTube, and he's talking about it just to admire it, to appreciate the very simple things,
Right.
like the guitar. He tells me, just look at that thing and imagine how your
Wow.
life would be without. Let's say there was no,
Yeah.
or there's no guitar world. There's nothing. The guitar is gone, and you have a job and whatever. Just imagine how your life would be without it. Now I'm not saying that playing music is the absolute coolest thing, like ever,
True.
and there's nothing that's going on. You pick that path, and you're gonna have a beautiful life. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying it is a way of life, it's a lifestyle, but it comes also with challenges. It comes with a lot of other stuff. And if you don't appreciate
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
then it's not for you.
True.
And that's
True.
that's the kind of stuff that Steve does a lot. Like, hey man, just appreciate the simple things. Things don't go right today, they might go right tomorrow. It doesn't go well right now, maybe it'll be better, in a few hours, and stuff like that. Like, his
Mm-hmm.
True.
mindset is that's why he is as great as he is.
No doubt. Awesome. And thanks for sharing that experience. Actually, it's
Hey,
such a
man.
big learning for me and everybody watching or listening right now.
Yeah,
Very,
that's
very.
great.
And, and I guess that's the reason why you have a gem in your backdrop hanging on the wall.
Well, my dad gave it to me when I was 14. He didn't think I deserved it, but he still bought it for me.
Oh, wow.
Oh
So he was like,
God.
I was playing like a 80 bucks Fender Strat something. And,
Yeah.
the thing is, it has fret wires at the end, and those fret wires, I guess the
Yeah.
wood was shrinking, um, and the fret wires were standing out. And I was sliding and playing stuff that my guitar teacher at the time would tell me to play. And I'm sliding
Hmm.
across that fretboard, and I'm cutting my fingers.
Oh, dang.
Whoa.
And I'm like, I don't know if this is normal.
Yeah.
So, I showed my guitar teacher, and he's like, "Man, you got like cuts everywhere." I'm like, "Yeah,
Cuts. Yeah.
it hurts a little bit." He was like, "Yeah, this is the fret wires sticking out. You might want to do something about that." And first, we wanted
Yeah.
to sit, and I remember coming up to my dad as a little guy, going, "Hey, Dad, like, look at this." And he goes, "What? Put some bandage on there. What?
Yeah.
Band aid. Put something on there." I'm like, "Okay." So, but that's that's that Bosnian mentality. Like all my other friends
Yeah.
that were American, Swiss, British, um, they all fixed the
Yeah.
problem immediately.
Hmm.
My dad says,
Right.
put band-aids over your fingers. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like that's a total different mentality. Like you're
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah,
Fix it.
right.
You know?
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
Yeah. 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 Totally. Funky. Yes. Go ahead.
Well, I want to say that we've had a lot of Steve Vai people on the show, and I think
That's true.
Danis should definitely be considered a Steve Vai guy now.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, because you say that, Funky, hang on for a second. I know this happened with Steve Vai, but the fun thing is that, well, it's not a fun thing, but this happened with you too.
Oh yeah.
The blood spattering on the guitar. How did
Okay.
this happen now?
Okay, so that's a man. So I was playing that. This is taking you guys back a while ago, probably about 15 years ago, and I was
Wow.
with a band called Blood Runs Deep, and that was a band that I found
Uh
with the
huh.
singer at the time. And man, we Blood Runs Deep, right? It's in the name. So we had a razor
Ironic.
blade theme and stuff like that. So what we thought would be
Uh,
nice is to basically, how in wrestling when they
yeah.
bleed, they cut themselves.
Yeah.
They cut
That's
themselves
right.
here and it starts bleeding. You just need a straight cut. Well, that's what we
Yeah.
wanted to do originally.
Whoa. Okay.
So we wanted to have that effect, right,
Uh
of
huh.
that razor blade cutting each other, and then, or basically you just cut yourself and then you turn to the crowd and then you got blood in your face.
All bleeding. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
just do it the fake way. We're like, no, because we're 19 and stupid. Let's go. Right. So
That's
we
a bloody
tried to do
business.
that. So you know how usually you have a pocket right here for the picks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's where you, as a guitar player, usually you put that pick in here, right? It's a pick
Yeah.
pocket. You put that in there, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have picks available. Well, what we did, or what I did, because I was so nervous and weirded out about everything, I have to go on stage, I have to
Mm-hmm.
cut myself. My mom's going to freak out, right? I'm 19 years old. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. I put the blade in there too. So
Whoa.
it was in that
No.
pocket. And as I'm playing, of course, I'm losing my pick, right? And I,
True.
I kept losing my picks left and right, and we were just flying everywhere. So I had to grab
Yeah.
into that pocket all the time. I had to go in there and grab a new pick. Well, as I was grabbing picks for about a half hour, my hand was bleeding.
Dang.
My God.
So I had cuts everywhere, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I started feeling a little dizzy. Like, hey, I don't know what's
What's
going on.
happening?
And I remember this one guy in the audience pointing at my guitar, going, "Whoa!" And I'm like, I'm not doing
Gosh.
anything crazy. So I'm just strumming the guitar. And man, all that blood from my hand being cut open was on that guitar. And because it's a white guitar, you
Yeah.
can see that blood.
Yeah.
So man,
My God.
my hand was cut open. I was getting dizzy, almost about to collapse on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gosh.
yep, but show must go on, man. I just thought that,
Sure.
everybody thought it was planned. So I'm happy about that, right?
Yeah.
I broke the silence today, but everybody thought blood runs deep. This is thought out. This is what they wanted to,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially because the rest of the members actually followed through with the plan and they did,
They
cut
cut
themselves,
themselves?
stuff like that. And we were all bloody at the end. My hands
Mm-hmm.
like all messed up.
Wow.
What a story. And is that the same guitar that's behind you?
That's the same guitar, man.
It has
Wow.
your DNA on it now,
It
man.
really does. It really does. I took the pick guard out. I tried to clean below the pickups and everything. I still have the volume knobs that have the blood on them.
Uh-huh.
I still have them. Like
Yeah.
I
It's
took the
for the
volume,
keeps, I guess.
yep, I took the volume pots off and replaced them. So the original ones,
Wow.
blood is still on there. I still have them.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a memory.
Yeah. What a
What an
memory.
Sure,
experience.
man, that was wild. It was a wild night.
Yeah.
Totally, totally. Yes,
Um,
Funky.
yeah, what a story. Uh, Tell us, what are your least favorite and most favorite things about being a musician?
Um, let's start with the least favorite. The least favorite, I guess, today would be the rivalry and the comments that you receive from so
Hmm.
many people that sometimes are not really positive. Like, yeah, you can
Hmm.
talk about the haters or whatever you want to,
Yeah.
however you want to address them. It doesn't really phase me because I grew up
Right.
without that. I grew up without the haters, so I know a world without that. But I guess the whole I could do better. I guess
Yeah,
attitude
of course.
among guitar players it's such a toxic behavior
Mm-hmm.
towards each
Yeah.
other. It's all about I can do it better. It's like, dude, this wasn't the idea. My students are dealing with
Mm.
it. They're younger, some of them, and they're dealing with that kind of behavior. I really don't like that, man. It's like it's supposed to be playing music. It's supposed to be about expressing yourself. This is supposed to be a support service,
Brotherhood, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
brotherhood. Yeah, we're all, man. We're all trying to figure out the same shit. Okay, we're
Yeah.
all trying to figure out the
True,
same shit in life. Okay,
true.
how do I? Because ultimately, we're all gonna die. So you can't fix
Yep.
that, right? So we're all trying to figure out the same shit, man. We're trying to figure out, okay, how can I do this? I love this. I want to make this a thing and be successful at it. And maybe I can also make
Yeah.
money with it and have a good lifestyle, right? That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's
Very
what
much
I'm
so.
trying to figure out. And when you sometimes have people getting in there and go, you sure you want to do this music thing? Yeah, then or for instance, when you get asked the question, "Are you ever going to snap out of it?" Snap out of what? I'm 34. Like I've been
Yeah.
playing music for 20 years. I'm going to do
Yeah.
something else now. It's too late. I love
Mm-hmm.
doing this.
Exactly.
So it's all that, man. So basically, that's something that the unacceptable societal views on, oh, you're a musician and you're doing this rock thing. Okay, when are you going to be
Right.
enough to get a job? That kind of thing is still here
Yeah. That's one
today.
of the
And
things.
then, like I said, the musicians online going, I'm going to leave a bad comment behind. And you know what? It's
Man, yeah.
something that it doesn't necessarily, it's not towards me, but look at, like, I don't want to focus on the haters because I don't care. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
that's what you chose to do with your day.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up and you thought, I'm gonna look at a video and I'm gonna leave a bad comment behind. Like, really, dude,
Yeah.
that's your day.
And
So I'm
and that's the thing. Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
it's I think it's really bad for like the future musicians and the guitar players that are trying to do something like some of my students, and they get discouraged or disenchanted because you
True.
see all this shitstorm of comments,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's like, man, that's weird. What I love the most about music, it takes you places, man. Like it takes
True.
you, you get to know people you would never even talk to, because it's such an individual language. You get to hang out with, I get to hang out with Steve Vai because I'm a guitar player
Steve
and
Vai.
stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And you meet so many amazing people that share the same thing, and
Yes.
I can't imagine anything else but waking up in the morning, write a
Yeah.
riff or two, practice, I don't know, teach some students, go on stage. Um, Man, that's like the beauty of it. It's a lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole thing for me, man.
Totally. Yes. Absolutely. And you know what? It's understandable if you are being criticized for the craft, just for the craft. If you don't like, okay, cool, that's cool. But the thing is, these guys just wake up and they
Of
just want to
course,
bring you down,
of
and they
course,
would write something negative. That
yeah,
is
of course,
just, as good as demoralizing someone. So I
yeah,
guess that's, you just have to ignore them and walk your way.
yeah, man.
So
You gotta
how do you deal with that?
forget about them because they don't matter in your life. Because
Exactly. Yeah.
the moment I can take your opinion and buy something
Yeah.
with it, I will start giving a shit.
Oh yeah. More
That's it.
guitars, please.
Unless your opinion just floats in the universe of the weird internet. Okay, cool. That's one guy's opinion. And I saw that the other day. I don't know what it was. It was the new Batman movie that came out, and I was just kind of like, wondering. And
Yeah.
there was a deleted scene that I watched, and it had a comment on there, and it said, "This is the shittiest movie ever made."
My God.
Okay,
Why?
you know what
Okay,
I mean?
cool.
It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
So forget about that. Forget about those people. You can't do anything
Right.
comment other than, all right,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want to do? Take it to heart and never play guitar again, or you know what I
Hell
mean?
no.
So I say forget about that. Focus on yourself, what you want to get done.
Right.
Pick up that guitar anyways, and
Yeah.
do your thing, man.
Awesome. Awesome. That's a fantastic lookout.
Hey, man,
Yeah, very
Cool.
wise words.
you
Yeah.
gotta pick and choose your battles. We deal with enough
Mm-hmm.
as it is in life. The last
Right.
thing you need
Right.
is to worry about a guy on the internet.
Exactly.
That's a good one. That's a good.
You know.
Okay, so talk to us about Consciously Dying. How
Yeah.
did you guys meet and how did the band form?
Yes. So I met the guy, the lead singer and guitar player Aviv. I met him. He was the first
Mm-hmm.
guy that I met when I moved out to Los Angeles. And I met the
Aha.
guy when I was man, I was on vacation in LA, and I didn't even
Uh-huh.
know what to do or where to start.
Mm-hmm.
I was like telling my friends or myself and my girlfriend at the time, like, am I being stupid? Like, all I have is a guitar case and a suitcase of clothes. Am I being an idiot here and trying to move to a city where I don't know anybody? Right. And you could say it was a really stupid thing, but you could also say it was a really good thing, depending on the perspective. So I meet
Mm-hmm.
this guy
True.
at a music store, and he's like, "All right, I think we play the same kind of music. You got tattoos, you got long hair, and he's got the beard, and we kind of made friends.
Metal personality.
Yeah, we made friends. Actually, man, that was 7 years ago. So first guy I
Wow.
met in Hollywood,
Wow.
and after that I moved to LA. Like 4 or 5
Mm-hmm.
months later, moved to Hollywood. Got myself an apartment in around the corner of crack and murder. That's what it is. So Still cost me
Wow.
$2,000 a month, but whatever.
Oh wow.
That's Hollywood for you right there. So
True.
so that guy, Aviv, and I were both at Musicians Institute, and we kind of, hey man, what's going on, and this and that, and man, he did some things. He founded this band like in 2018 or so, and I was
Oh,
part of
cool.
it. I could see him getting players, and I'm like, okay, he's doing what he said he would do. I'm like, this is cool. I'm in different bands. I'm
Yeah.
touring America and stuff like that. And this guy is kind of like, um, okay, like he's doing.
Walking the talk.
I'm like, okay, this is cool. He's getting players. He's looking for a band name. I'm part of all that, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
fucker, didn't even ask me. You know, like what the hell?
True. I'm
And
right here.
yeah, exactly. But I was in bands, and he didn't know. Like when you usually have one or two bands, you're booked up, man. That's a lot of work right there if you want to do it the right way. So, man, so basically,
True.
2019 December, he was like, "Hey, man, you want to be part of this thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Let's see where it goes." Kind of like, yeah,
Cool.
I want to be the guy in the band. I don't want to be a hired
Hmm.
gun. Pay me
Yeah.
$100 for a gig. I want to get in this. This is like something
Yeah.
cool. It's the heaviest shit I ever played. Okay, I never played this. I always listened to this kind of music, but never played to this extreme
Mhm.
level. So I
Wow.
joined. Everybody in the band was super cool. Um, and like I
Yeah.
said, man, we played some shows. We played the Viper Room, and boom, it just clicked. It was amazing. And then unfortunately the pandemic started and nobody knew what to do, right?
Mhm.
So
True.
we started to do whatever, and the rest is history, man. That's how we started, and we're still here. There's an album coming
Yeah.
out, and very excited. We worked on that album last year during the summer,
Uh-huh.
and like I said,
Uh-huh.
nobody really knew. Like, man, we're still in the pandemic. California was on complete lockdown. Like
True.
people were wearing, coats and ponchos over masks and face shields,
Oh yeah.
covering up
Oh
their
yeah.
car. It was ridiculous. I've
Wow.
never seen
Aliens.
anything
Yeah.
like that in my life. So, living in LA, like the rest of the world, obviously, and the rest of America was different too. But for us, I felt we're never going to get out of this. I
My God. Yeah.
the end, 100%. There's a guy with a poncho, a mask, a face shield,
Yeah, that's it.
like a little head umbrella. I'm like, we're done. This is the end. I don't know what's going on. So, so we had this album and we didn't know what to do with it, you know.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, this is how
Yeah.
I met the guy 7 years ago, and 7 years later, we have
Hmm.
shows played. We mastered a pandemic. Not sure if it's over, but I don't really see why not. And
Mhm.
then, and we have an album. So lots of things happened, and here we
Oh
are,
yeah.
almost a decade later.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. So let's talk about the album. It's called Bereavement.
bereavement.
And what's the inspiration behind the album name and the album?
Well, basically, the album was written by the singer and the other guitar player, and
Hmm.
he's doing both duties in this band, and basically
Hmm.
it's about dealing with the different stages of grief. Okay,
Hmm.
anger, denial, and everything you feel, depression, everything you feel during a process of grief. Now we're all grieving to some
Yeah.
extent, others more than some more than others and so forth. But everybody has that grieving process,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
it's basically the album helps to identify with all those different stages and
Hmm.
recognize your frustration, your pain, your anger, and just basically mastering that process of grief.
Mhm. Wow.
That's what it's all about. It's a concept album, which when I joined was
So
like,
cool.
this is what I have. And I said,
Mhm.
this is really cool. because nobody else really did it before like that.
Yeah.
So I thought it
Yeah.
was pretty cool because at the time I was dealing with some really serious demons, and I thought that this is
Hmm.
great. So man, it helped me, okay, to play those songs and to be
Oh
so
yeah.
angry at the world and everything that the past and some shit that's going on in life. It just helps you to deal
Mm-hmm.
with certain things because music ultimately
Sure.
does that. And this album is all about that. Take all your anger, your grief, and just put it on the table. You know,
Yeah. That's so
conquer
cool.
demons, man.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Um,
And
I,
sure, go ahead, Frank. Yeah.
so I want to talk some more about the band. First, tell us where did the name Consciously Dying come from, and what else do you want the people to know about the band?
When it came down to the name, I don't remember a lot about because I wasn't in the band when the band name was when they decided on the band name. But I remember it being a poll on the internet, like, "Hey, vote for the four names that we have," and I voted for Consciously Dying. So
Wow.
Wow. Huh.
because that's what we're all doing. We're all consciously dying. We know we're gonna die. All three of us in this
Yeah.
room one day, hopefully later than sooner, will die. And
Yeah.
that's the end of it. We're headed towards death. From the moment you're born, you're gonna die. That's the journey,
True.
right? You're
Mhm.
starting here,
Yeah.
that's birth. This is death. This is our
Yeah.
journey. So we're consciously dying,
Oh yeah.
you know. So
Awesome.
so so
Awesome.
that's it,
Yeah.
man. And about the band, I mean, yeah, we have people in the band. We're really we're pushing and working after this pandemic to
Hmm.
go on tour to promote this album. Everybody has faces shortages. Everybody is doing trying their hardest to get out there and play. Um,
Right.
you know,
Right.
every venues are booked up and all that stuff. So we're coming out there. We're trying. It's gonna get there. The album's out. We have some distribution. We had some distribution issues with
Hmm.
our previous guy. We're like, yep, can't work with this guy. I don't know why, but it didn't work. So we're gonna
Yeah.
just self-release that. So we're in control of our own shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Cool. Cool. So, tell us, what do you think makes this album stand out?
Like I mean, besides that it's a concept album and
Hmm.
as it identifies with a very specific group of people, and
Hmm.
it's an extreme metal band that I see,
Right.
I understand, and I know how many people it attracts, you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
what it makes it stand out because after this
Hmm.
time of the pandemic and everybody that survived, that was lucky enough to survive, to push through mentally, financially,
Hmm.
just with everything that was going on, students that were
Yeah.
faced to do this, stare at a computer all day, every day for 2 years. That's a
True.
mental thing, man. That's like you're stuck
Very
at
much.
home with your roommates or your parents, and sometimes there's nothing worse because you're
True.
facing you're all the time. It's the same people. You can't go out. There's nothing to do. Everyone's just going crazy, and everybody that survived this pandemic can look at this
Yeah.
album and pick one song and at least sympathize with one of the themes: anger, depression. you know you just take that
Right.
to depression right there, and you can sympathize with men. Yeah, that was a rough time and this and that. So the album really came at the right time, man.
Mm-hmm.
you know
Definitely.
Couldn't be better.
yep.
And
So, tell us,
yeah.
what's your favorite track off of this album?
Wow, that's men. Let me say it would be Gasping for Air.
Awesome.
I'm taking Gasping for
Which
Air
is
because it was it was the lead track that I played on that. So the solo I played on that song is
uh-huh.
killer. It's killer.
I think so too. I think so too.
I remember right now that we're talking about that. I remember sitting. It was played on this very gem behind me, and I just thought,
Woohoo.
okay, let's see. It was. I'm a last minute kind of guy when it comes to leads. I can sit down in my studio and work on leads all day long. Okay,
Right.
I'm super indecisive. I like all of them. So I need someone to tell me, maybe this, maybe that. I like all of them. All the leads that I play were cool. Anyways, Gasping for Air, coolest track on there. It gets into that solo and kicks you right in the face. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. And the video is also out, by the way, so you guys can check it out on
Definitely,
YouTube. Yeah.
definitely. That's the first one that came out. The first video that we released back in March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. And which track was the most fun to record? I'm guessing this, but I don't know. It could be different.
Yeah, I think it was Acceptance was a very challenging one to record because we had some tuning issues because there's a lead that kicks in there and goes gang 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 gang. It's super chunky, very heavy riff. And I
Yeah.
remember playing that, man. I remember playing that thing and the strings went like this, they were just
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
messed up. And the producer was like, "Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. This is you can either don't play that heavy
Mm-hmm.
or we have to figure something out."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was a really challenging track to play, and then also in that song later we start off with such a heavy you'll hear it. It's such a heavy intro. It's like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
what is this? It's like a freight train and it just goes.
Wow.
And I have this like Headfield inspired rhythm track in there, and I played that super hard. I was just all down picking, and like I said, the strings were jumping up and down. And
Yeah.
there is one little clip of that track of that rhythm on my
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, and where I'm playing that, and without that bridge that we had by Evertune, this is name dropping. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry, but this is a bridge that compensates your energy, so the strings
Wow.
go out of tune. So
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah.
we had challenges with tuning, and then later the song drops into clean, and it's just clean part.
Whoa.
So it's like, whoa, now we have to deal with that dynamic. Now we have to pick it up, and it's bass
Yeah.
lines, leads, and with delay. That was definitely difficult to capture in one track.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. 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 Because your energy also shifts accordingly, right?
Man, it's like it starts off with, "Ugh,"
Yeah.
and then later it goes to, wee. So, it's like, okay,
Wow.
it was really difficult, man. I'm not difficult. It was challenging. It was like, how do we make this happen? How do I, this down picking, gang, 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 how do
Yeah.
we make it work with the rest of the instruments? Because I have such a
Mm.
heavy down picking that
Yeah.
like I said, it was really difficult to stay in tune during those
Wow.
parts.
And how did you guys make it work then? How did you find the solution on that?
Honestly, the only solution that we found tuning wise, we used an Evertune bridge in for the
Yeah.
guitar. So basically, what that bridge does, it compensates when you hit the string, it goes up and down. That string
Yeah.
compensates it in the bridge. It goes
Right.
with the string, so it stays in the same.
Right. Right.
So basically, if you hit
Wow.
and the string goes up, the thing goes up too. It works with the string,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it always stays in the same tuning.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
That's
That's
awesome.
the only way to do it.
Wow. Really cool. Fun
Um,
stuff, man. Yeah,
yeah.
Funky.
Yes,
She's
guys.
been waiting.
Oh, that was
So yeah, I have. So I want to move on to the questions we got from our audience.
okay.
So we
Absolutely.
have Sally Houso, who's asking, "Do you remember every person you meet on tour?"
Um, do I remember every
Mhm.
person I meet on tour? No, no, not at all. I remember faces. I remember, like, if you walked up to me, hey man, remember? And I'd be like, maybe, help me out. Oh,
Yeah.
Munich, Germany, 2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah. I was the one that brought you the cake. Oh, yeah, remember? Yeah, that was a good cake. Thanks. That's I remember
Right.
that. But when it comes to remembering everybody, no, I don't remember every person.
Mhm.
Not at all.
Yeah. And
Sure.
here's a question I'm personally interested in hearing the answer to. So, how much Jaeger can you drink?
Gosh.
How much Jaeger can I drink today? Zero.
Oh.
I am absolutely Jaegered out, man. When I was in my 20s, it was fun and games. I could drink a bottle of Jaeger and wake up the next day, take a shower, and do what I had to get done. Today,
Mhm.
I'm dying after a bottle of Jaeger. So I never thought this would change in my life because I made fun of
Wow.
it. Like I made fun of all the old people. Oh my
Hmm.
God, really? You can't drink anymore? Come on, dude. What? But it was funny for me to say because I was in my early 20s
Mm-hmm.
Right.
when I was touring and stuff like that. So today, not much Jaeger I can drink, but with Billy, we used to throw down some Jaegers back in the day for sure.
Cool.
Okay. Um, go on.
Okay, so Kathy Grant, who's one of our friends and also has a cool podcast called Reaganite, asks, "What are Dennis's favorite biscuits or snacks? Or is there a food you had when you were young that you miss?"
Yes, I miss every Balkan food there is. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
I miss burek, I miss chavapi, I miss chimbur, tufahie, or mashice, all that good stuff. And I know most guys, except ALMEDINA, maybe are like, "What is all this stuff?" We
Yeah.
have some stores here in LA. There's one in Orange County. They make super authentic food, but I miss all of that stuff from the Bosnian or Balkan
Hmm.
area. All of that,
Right.
every single thing.
Wow. And I can see the excitement on your face when you talk
Man,
about
it's
that.
when you are a kid, the only thing that you really care about is TV and candy, right? So
True.
or food in general. So candy and food is one of the biggest, coolest things that happens to you as a kid, and you get,
True.
So man, of course, my face lights up when I talk about that food because I go crazy when I have some really good food, good cooked food. My mom's a super good cook. She makes something like that, it will knock your socks off. It's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, here's the next one. Funky, you want to read?
Of course. So Ziggy Amor is asking, how long did it take you to learn the guitar?
I'm still learning. I'm still learning to play the guitar. It depends on, I guess, you know, of course, first you'll learn a couple of chords and then you play some leads and then you're in a band and like, oh my God, I have so much work to do. Then you go into the studio, oh my God, I have so much work to do. So I don't think I know 100% to play the guitar yet because there's so many things I need to learn still. But I guess basics, about 2 months, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like I
Yeah,
said, I
I
still
agree.
I still need to master the guitar. And this is just to bring up the Mr. Steve Vai again. This is something that Steve Vai told me regarding this topic. I want to bring it up because we talked about the guy, obviously a big inspiration of mine. Steve Vai tells me, and I asked him this question, okay? I said, "Hey,
Uh
man,
huh.
something that you really want to do in life." You know what he tells
Uh
me? He
huh.
says to me, "I would like to take some time off, about a year, and really master the guitar." I fell off the chair.
That is so Steve Vai.
I fell off the chair.
Wow.
Like, and my friend that was in with me in the same room, Mark, he said, "I don't think you have to go there, Steve. You'd be scaring all of us."
Oh,
Yeah.
believe me, I have to. Steve would be like,
Imagine that.
my God, that is so Steve Vai.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
Yep.
And of course, our I would call this a signature question of the segment called People's Questions because this question just has to be there. And now we call it Anders' question because that's who's asking. Is there a piece of gear or equipment or an instrument that you regret losing or selling away?
Yeah, I used to have the Les Paul that I have now. I used to have the exact same guitar twice, and it was a very limited
Well,
guitar. It was only 400 guitars worldwide. Yep, that one right there. And I
wow.
had two of those. And when I moved to LA, I had no room. I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, just sell it away. And I sold it for, for like an amount of money that was whatever, but I would like to have that back. I know the guy, I'm coming for you. And yep, and my jam collection. I used to have the Steve I jam
Oh,
collections.
yes.
I have 17 of those, okay?
Wow.
I sold all of them. Yep, those are there's some of them,
Uh huh.
and I basically had to sell them because I had no room when I moved to LA. I didn't know what to do with them, so yep,
Wow.
would be cool to have that shit today
Man.
for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yep.
And since we are talking about the guitars and specifically this Les Paul, Anders and I would love to know about this guitar because it's so, it's such an unusual Les Paul.
It
So
really is, man.
tell us something about this one.
I walked into a store, and back then I used to have a my own music school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to teach tons of students. So the concept was upstairs was the guitar store, downstairs was my music studio where I was teaching kids. I mean,
I
actually
see.
teaching any age of students. So so I would usually come up after every lesson, and there's something new waiting. There's a guitar here, there's a guitar there, and I would like look at
Mm-hmm.
all these guitars. And of course, every guitar to me is awesome, and I want all of them, right? But
Yeah.
that one was like I played it and it just felt right, man. It had an unbelievable tone. I thought, dude, this is great.
Wow.
It was a limited guitar. It had 400 pieces worldwide, and I said, what? I need this, man.
Wow.
Hmm.
They don't make this anymore, and it has a P90 in the neck. It's actually a Lou Paulo
Mm-hmm.
signature. That's the guy. Never heard of him until I bought
Wow.
the guitar. Jazz player. So
Uh-huh.
it has very high output pickups, and it
Mm-hmm.
has P90. Worked like a charm for me. Love that thing. And then I bought it, took it to rehearsal, thought this is cool. The next week I come back to my shop, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
teaching. Same guitar comes in again. I'm like, what? It's like, dude, those
Whoa.
are the only two guitars in the European area. I'm like, well, I bought the
Yeah.
second one too.
Hmm.
You
So
were destined to have that, man.
yes, I do. And like I said before, I know the guy who I sold the other one to, and I'm coming for you, bro.
Watch out.
You're not safe.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a beautiful, beautiful guitar.
Thanks.
And so, aside
Go ahead,
from
Punk.
Steve Vai and Deep Purple and the ones you already mentioned, which other artists do inspire you?
Besides all the artists like from the Balkan area, like Bielo Dugme is one of the bands that I would really encourage everybody to listen to. super cool stuff. My dad, he's an artist that I thought, man,
Wow.
this guy is ballsy because he was in a band and he was doing all this shit and he was doing that, working a daytime job because he had to after the war, right? You have to
Mhm.
do something. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be a musician and during a
All
wartime,
right.
right? So he did that, raised a family, and could still continued to manage to play music.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
we all think of artists in a way of the big guys, but
Hmm.
there's so many artists that are not well known that are still amazing artists, and they just nobody really talks about them. And my dad's one of them. He sacrificed music because he had to raise a family after the war. So my dad is my ultimate inspiration as an artist.
Of course. Yeah.
What artists should do.
Yeah.
Basically, if you really want to play, you will play. Now, if you're gonna
Hmm.
be
Yeah.
known, if you're doing it for the money, then you're not an artist.
Hmm.
So,
Right.
so if you're doing it for the artsy craft, for what it's supposed to, you're gonna be playing no matter what. You're gonna be playing in a function of for a small function of people, or you're gonna play stadiums. It doesn't matter. You just want to play.
Yeah.
That's my dad, 100%. He still plays to this day.
Staying
Makes him happy.
staying
He's
true
still,
to the art. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. You just okay. So what? You're not playing stadiums. So what? You're not playing with. You're not signed to a fancy label, Warner Brothers. Who cares? Don't quit.
Mm.
Still play music. Who gives a shit? What can a label offer you?
Hmm.
You
Wow.
are the artist. You are playing. So just play your music, man.
Right.
That's profound. Really profound. Awesome. And is there any other piece of advice that you received from your dad?
Piece of advice:
Yeah.
get it done. Get the work done. No matter what
Mm.
you are doing, you can't skip the work part. You can't skip waking up and getting it done. You can't skip anything you do. The work has to be done, and it will show
Yeah.
how much work you put into something. So whatever you want
Right.
to get done, there you can't skip that work aspect, man.
Right. Right. You have to do it.
There's no way around it.
Of course. Yeah.
Just stop the
So true.
complaints, stop the whining, forget about the haters, forget about your head telling you maybe you should get a job that's going to pay you a good amount of money so you can
Mm.
exist. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Forget about
Right.
all the negative thoughts. Get up and get it fucking done. Forget your emotions. Go. Do
Right.
it. This is what I want to do. Do it passionately and get it done properly. And don't quit. Let the other guys quit. Let
Hmm.
everybody around you quit. You just go, man. Focus on yourself and see where you are 1 year from now. If you focus on your,
Wow.
because everybody that's meant to be around you that wants the truly best for you. And I mean, everybody, look, you have one good, let's say you win the lottery tomorrow. Be
Hmm.
careful how many friends you can tell that you won the lottery. How many of
Right.
your
Right.
friends are going to be happy, genuinely happy for you that you won the lottery? You know what? You deserve it, man. Got to be
Yeah.
careful about that. So, all that stuff, man.
Without any envy or jealousy. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, a ton of that around. We unfortunately, when speaking about haters, most of them are people you know.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part,
True.
okay?
Definitely.
Most of them are
Truest.
people that you know from either your past or I don't know, you someone you met before. Most of those people you know damn well who they are, and your biggest admirer is someone you've never met in your life.
Wow. Wow. I love this.
Smart.
That
Yes.
is so
That's
true.
what I
That
learned
is so,
over the course of years, man.
my God. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you, a little bit on the deep topics. Have you ever had to deal with performance anxiety? And what was your process to deal with it?
You know, not when I was a kid, not so much. When I was in my 20s, it was everything seemed very easy for me. There's
Hmm.
no matter how many people there were out there, never phased me. at all.
Mhm.
Day after not being on stage for so long, a little more, because it's like the uncertainty. I haven't been doing it in a very long time, so it's kind of weird
Mhm.
to have that
Mhm.
thing. The only time I really thought that, man, I think I'm going to explode, is we played in Stuttgart, Germany, and
Uh-huh.
we opened for a band called The Pale Horse Named Death. These guys from Brooklyn, New York. We opened for them.
Wow.
It was a gig called. It was a venue called Die Röhre, which is the
Hmm.
tube,
Mhm.
basically. Okay, and there was a curtain, and as I stepped on stage, I could hear the crowd screaming our name,
Wow.
band name, and it was the last gig at that venue too. So that was the goodbye concert for the venue, for the staff, for everybody that ever had to do something with that place. So it was like magical.
Whoa.
Everybody was screaming our name. They learned our songs and everything. Once that curtain dropped, I I think I was just paralyzed for the first two songs. I was like, fuck, this is crazy. So yeah,
My
Wow.
gosh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Um,
it's interesting how vividly you remember that moment.
everything like that, man. I remember most of like big events like that, where something really happened that I can sticks out. I remember that, of course.
So true.
yeah.
Yes,
So
funky going.
I want to talk about some deep things too. So I know that on Instagram you have posted and something like how the past 2 or 3 years have been the toughest for you. Why did you say that?
You know, um, it was a difficult time for me because I was going through a very, very difficult time of, I don't know how to call it, but I don't want to name drop, but Johnny Depp. I'm going to mention him. I was going through
Okay.
something very, very similar. Okay. And it was
Oh,
a very, very very difficult for me to understand psychologically in my brain. How is this happening in this world? Like,
Hmm.
how can we allow someone to say one thing and it shatters your entire career? Everything.
wow. Yeah.
Now I'm not Johnny Depp, thank God, because because it sucks, man. This is a man that's worked for 4 decades to do the right thing and to be a nice guy and to be a good actor. And I'm sure he's dealing with his own demons and everything like that. And now someone
Of
comes
course.
along and says, this guy is abusive.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now we have a problem because now we can
True.
choose to believe it or not to believe it. The fact is, we will never know the entire truth because we're not there. So
Yeah.
that was a time for me about 4 years ago when it started, where I had to face the same kind of thing, and that
Hmm.
was so difficult to. That was so challenging to have positive thoughts, have
Hmm.
about something that's not that, because it stresses you out every day, man. I don't know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and the only way to basically have a voice of a guy like Johnny, hey, I didn't do it, is to spend a ton of money and go to court. That's the only
Yeah,
way to do it.
that's true.
And I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
man.
thinking about justice, equality. Speaking of those kind of things, equality.
Yeah.
Where is the equality in this case? Like
Hmm.
those are the questions that's the shit that makes me depressed. Because now I'm thinking, okay, me, Johnny Depp, how many others on this planet that are
Right.
something very similar? You know, and
Right.
don't get me wrong, I love all women. I have all their albums. You know what I mean? I have all their albums. I have a mother, I have a sister, I have a daughter. I love all of them. So it's not the issue is not man versus woman. The issue
Hmm.
Women. Yeah.
is versus evil.
That's true.
Right.
So that's the cause of the source of for my depression. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I brought along, and it was so difficult, you know,
Yeah,
deal with
yeah,
that topic. Very touchy, sensitive topic, but a very, very real one, especially now because Johnny is out there dealing with this shit right now. It
Yeah.
sucks.
true, true, true. And what did you learn from these years that you will always remember in your life ahead?
And be careful who you trust, man. Be careful who you put your trust in today. Who do you have? Like living with someone is the most intimate thing you can do, right?
Hmm.
As a,
Hmm. Yeah,
be careful about that. It is not, as a musician, you want to take your career serious, stay away from all of that. Forget about the Motley Crue,
true.
forget about the sex, drugs, because there is no sex and there's no drugs, okay? There is none of
Yeah,
that shit's gone because you have to worry about paying your rent. Motley Crue was worrying about getting laid and how to spend $1 million. The times have
true.
changed, and one thing like that happens, it can ruin you forever. We'll see what the outcome will be in Johnny Depp's case, but it can ruin you
Yeah.
forever. So what I
Mm-hmm.
take away from that, in a situation like that, unless you have a body cam with you 24/7,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
are
like a
guilty.
tech cam.
You are definitely
Yeah,
guilty until proven innocent. 100%.
yeah.
That's right.
And there is no
That's the sad
equality
truth,
for that,
unfortunately. Yeah.
unfortunately. That's what I learned from that experience. You can heal from it. You can learn to trust again the fairer sex for me.
Mhm.
But it definitely puts a little bit of a whoa. Not dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That's the filter that it puts.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's like you're out on, like, back in the day. You see someone that's drunk and you see a chick that's woo whatever. Back in the day that was fun,
Yeah.
hanging out, whatever. Now it's like whoa,
Yeah.
nope, I'm good.
True, true. Exactly.
Yep.
And since we've talked all about this, I want to make the mood a little lighter and ask you, tell us the three things that make you instantly happy.
The three things that made me instantly happy. Wow. Um, the thought of family, on any of my family members,
Wow.
that makes me very happy. The thought that I'm healthy, I have arms and
Yeah.
legs, and I can move, that makes me very happy. And the fact that if you push through, you'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
That shit makes me
That's
happy.
awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. And by the way, our mutual friend Lally is here and she says hi.
That's right. I saw that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ollie's the best.
Okay. And we are going a little bit overboard the time. I hope you have some time to spare with us because
Sure.
we do have a few more questions.
Okay, sure. I'll
So,
I'll
yeah.
try to answer them.
Thank you. So, tell us if you get a chance to make a call to a person, dead or alive, and speak out your heart to them, who would you call and what would you say?
Huh. I think it would be Hitler.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I would like to know what the fuck was going on in his brain. It's obviously a very intelligent guy, but
Yeah,
to me, it's just a question that I have for someone of that severity. Like, hey, man,
Yeah.
like just what are your thoughts? How are you thinking? What are you thinking? Why are you thinking like this? That's something that I would really want to know.
true,
You know,
true.
it's insane. Like when you think about that whole thing and the whole extremist thing behind it. But I have so many questions, man. I watched all the documentaries. I still have a lot of questions, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I bet. Well, we are born on the same day, so I can maybe answer a few questions. Just
Oh,
kidding.
yep, yep.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and ask a few more questions, Punky? Go ahead, please.
Let's see. I have a fun question, even though I think I know the answer. Um, So what is your favorite color?
Purple. My whole
Okay.
heart
Nice.
is purple.
Oh,
The
purple.
whole thing.
You didn't expect that, Funky, right?
No, of course not. But
Cool.
okay.
Next.
So, if you had to choose from all of Bosnian foods, which one is your favorite?
Cevapi, 100%. With Ivar on the side. Ivar is a must. No ketchup, please.
Okay, I'll take that.
Cool.
Okay, okay. And when's the last time you had kebab?
Actually, about a month ago.
I mean, Bosnian kebab.
It was really authentic in a place in Orange County called Sofra Urbana. Amazing place. It's Bosnian as it gets, really good. But the actual thing, like in Sarajevo, the last time was over 10 years ago.
No,
Wow.
Unfortunately, yes.
yeah.
There's a question in the comment. What is the best cake you ever
Well, the
had?
best cake I've ever had was came from Texas, and it was customized and handmade by this wonderful person called Lali, and it was a beautiful cake. I will never forget the taste of it. Thank you again for making me such a great cake, Lali.
Yeah, we
My
love
God,
it. Yeah.
absolutely. Okay. So tell us, what do you want to do ahead in your life? Whom do you want to collaborate with?
I'm always as a guitar player, I'm looking for like-minded artists. I'm looking for people that want to do
Right.
the same thing, and living in such a saturated city like Los Angeles, everybody's doing something, but no one's really doing
Right.
anything. I met, yeah, seriously, I met so many people in
True.
nearly decade in the city, like, oh, we have something happening, and this is happening, and that is happening, and blah is happening. Okay, at this point, I don't care. As long as we're like minded and we have the same goals, the same vision, the same drive, the same
Right.
ethic, I'm down. Let's do it. We can do something folky.
Mm,
I'm fine with that. It just has to be passionate and you have to get it done. Because I can't do it with people anymore with, hey, you want to do this? Sure, let's do it. And then a year later, it's done.
right.
And in this city, it's a rule. It happens all the time.
Right. Right. My gosh.
Um,
So,
so do
yeah.
you think that we have missed out on asking you something?
Man, we covered a lot of things today. I think we covered my childhood, we covered my insecurities, my darkest moments, we covered my inspiration, we covered my influence, we covered my dad a lot, and my culture and everything,
Yeah.
and my favorite food, which is from which is obviously from my culture, Almedina's culture as well. So yeah, I
Sure.
think we covered good ground today, and I'm very happy about it.
Okay.
It's been fantastic, man. And so, is there anything new, music or tours in the works? What's happening?
Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, there is. I have a hard drive where I that I
Uh-huh.
that I played and recorded and wrote songs in the last 7 years. And I listened
Wow.
to some of the stuff that I recorded and thought, oh, maybe it's time to do something for me.
Yeah.
Solo.
So that's what's coming. Everything from now on, from this year, 2022. I'm gonna put the energy that I put in many other bands is gonna go to me, and then
Amazing.
It's
we'll
gonna be
see.
mega awesome. I have the feeling.
We'll see what's gonna happen to that. I always wanted to do it, and I don't really care who's going to listen to it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be
Uh-huh.
for me. And if I can inspire people to play the guitar, and if I can inspire people to like listen or feel something, my job is done.
Hmm.
But it's something that I want to do
Awesome.
for myself.
Yeah.
So
Right.
out of that,
Right.
I'm very excited.
That
Yeah.
is cool. We are excited about it too, and we
Cool.
look forward to hearing it and maybe having you again on the VoiceIt Show. That would be fun,
That would be
where we
amazing.
talk about your solo album and everything.
That would be amazing. I
Awesome.
would absolutely love that.
And what is the best way to get in touch with you?
The
Would you
best.
like to share your socials with everyone? Yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is the best
I'm
way
on
to get in touch
Dennis
with you?
Sheriff, Dennis Sheriff, 69 on pretty much everything. You can reach me up. You can connect with me. I usually I'm posting guitar videos on there and other stuff. You can reach me there. You can ask questions. You can hit me up for lessons if you want. Check out the band. The
Right.
album coming out. We play our first July release show in Hollywood.
Wow.
So,
Awesome.
yep, July 1st, and we're very excited about that. Keep in contact, stay in touch, ask me questions there, hit me up for lessons, whatever you want to know. I answer who I can.
Of course. And people, all the links, all the socials are in the description of this video. So do check them out at the end. And one last question, Funky, like always, where do you want to go?
Of course. So, can you share some words of advice with us, your followers, and the people who are watching us right now?
Man, honestly, the only thing I can say, no matter what you want to do, if you want to become a musician, cool. If you want to do this, cool. Don't look at yourself as a victim of anything.
Mhm.
Turn victimhood into victorhood. Get shit done. Yeah, someone called you this, your boss sucks, that guy pissed you off, your mom said something, whatever it is, get it done. Stop doing oh, it's me. No, get it done. Turn it around. You are creating your own life and nobody else does it for you. Stop playing the victim, stop whining, stop complaining, stop bitching. Be thankful. You got yourself, you got legs to move,
Right.
whatever you have available, man. Do that and do what you want to do with your life, whatever that may be.
Bingo. Brilliant.
That was very
It
nice.
was so awesome. And you know what? I want to say it has been truly inspirational to hear your thoughts during the course of this interview. And I mean, I'm truly impressed by you, man. What can I say more? So
Thank you guys.
it's been truly lovely, and thank you for coming on the Voice It Show. It's
Thank you
been
guys. I
amazing.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and we hope we can see you again. And we wish you all the best for your solo stuff as well, and
Hell yeah.
everything that's happening with the band too. And you have our
Wonderful.
love and support always, man. So keep on rocking.
Thank you guys. You do the same.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again next time, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the Voice It Show. And until we meet again,
Ciao
ciao
for now.
for now. See ya.